Hey everybody, you are watching or listening to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Welcome, you've made it. Congratulations to the King's Kid for first comment of the day over there on Twitch. Check is in the mail, the King's Kid. I think that is that's our Canary Cry Dutchman there. Anywho, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're about to get started on the show. Thanks for your patience today. We're going to have to zoom through some actually some very important stories. So make sure, pay attention. Don't miss a thing. If you haven't done it yet, you need to follow us on multiple locations. That's the only way to make sure you get the notifications and never miss a show. So if you haven't done it yet, follow us on YouTube or DLive or twitch.tv/Canary Cry Radio. Make sure to do that. And if you haven't done it yet, just go ahead and start by smashing that like button over on YouTube. It really gets the algorithms going, gets them warmed up early, shares the show. Okay, here we go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is November 20th, 2020. This is episode 268. And today, CYBERDEMIC, Angel of Light. And you know me, I am your best buddy Basil.
And this is Gonz. Welcome to the podcast where we love Jesus, we love you, learning to love ourselves and praying for our enemies. And
cracking down on the Illuminati shills and the elite brainwashing of the universe.
Exactly. Expose them.
I thought I'd try to jump in and add some real Hollywood flair to that to the tagline. Did it work?
I don't know. We just asked the chat. Did it work?
We'll have to check with the Nielsen ratings company, see if that upped the ratings.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're here. We're happy we're here. Gonz, are you happy you're here?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah, I know. We're getting started early. I mean, opposite of early. We're getting started late, which makes Gonz a little grumpy. That's okay.
Yeah.
We do have kind of, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a show, but only because we're late. But that's okay. The quality is going to be top notch. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but when I'm doing the show, I'm almost always having to hold on to the microphone. Like you can see my hand holding on, losing control, often getting smacked in the face with this microphone as it wiggles around in my swivelly chair. But Gonz, I think I did it. I think I secured it. I think I tightened everything up and I switched out the some parts. And I think I can actually do the show with two free hands.
Yeah, and clearly you got some Visine, or you took my advice, you baptized yourself, and you're back to your old googly eyes there.
Oh, yes. The reptilian eyes have they've gone the way of the dinosaurs, I guess.
I don't know.
So, yeah, we're trying to calm it down a little bit. We got a little wild for a few episodes there, but I'm feeling good. I feel clear eyes, clear hearts, can't podcast at all. But we're going to try our best.
Well, Joe's gone over your shoulder, too, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, he's busy.
Yeah,
he's busy. He's off dominating the world or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So, any news?
No,
Did anything happen?
Oh, I mean, nothing personal, but let's go get into some of the stuff. Again, we're here to distract you from the election craziness.
Yes.
It's part of our job, but just a brief update on.
Before we do that.
Yeah, before we distract you away from it, a couple things. The Kraken was unleashed, allegedly. With it was spewing down Giuliani's head. Unfortunate
Yes.
things going on there.
Did you see this live? I didn't see it. I just saw memes.
I
didn't
watched
even know it
parts
was
of it.
new. I thought it was just something that happened a while ago that I missed.
Yeah, I watched part of it. It wasn't as exciting as a lot of people were hoping for, but I do think that it feels like they're rushing. Obviously, they probably are rushing.
Well, they have to,
but they
yeah.
just made little errors. Cindy Powell mentioning the wrong dude in charge down in. There was just a whole bunch of little mistakes they made that I wish they had tightened up, because it just gives the other side a lot of meat to chew on. In the public.
Well, you've noticed. I mean, there's so much happening with. Yes, the Kraken being released, and Trump and his administration and his lawyers and other lawyers and everybody really trying to get this case going before, I believe, December 8th is their deadline.
Yeah.
But it's really funny to watch the constant stream of how Donald Trump isn't gonna succeed at challenging the election because there's no evidence. When I mean, even I don't even know the extent of the legal evidence that the legal teams are trying to present, but I don't know. There's some interesting things to look at, but it's fun to watch the media sort of scramble to finish their brainwashing before there's any actual information on the legal proceedings.
Right. The big thing last night was Tucker Carlson basically asking for like hard evidence and going after Sidney Powell, saying like, "Hey, you didn't give actual hard evidence."
Yeah, people are mad at Tucker Carlson right now.
So, I mean, there's two takes on that. There's the Tucker's lost it. He chose the evil side. He's trying to keep his job. So he's got to go against the whole Republican, whatever.
Sure.
Or he's just trying to be an objective journalist and looking for the evidence.
Well, and I'm not sure if Tucker is well known for being an objective journalist.
No.
But who knows? Who knows?
Well, I think what's happening
is... He's a news commentator.
I know.
Like us. We're not necessarily reporters. We're news commentators.
Yeah. Well, I think what he was trying to do was he wanted more of the heavy-hitting stuff to break on his show, and when he found out he wasn't going to get it, because a lot of if it's going to court, they're not going to release stuff before they're in court. Some of the information anyway. So I don't know. It's all a big dog and pony show, and it's frustrating for a lot of people.
Well, to be honest, I can say the same. I didn't watch Tucker Carlson. I don't know exactly what he said. But if he's simply making a demand for some hard evidence to report on because that's his job, I could probably say the same thing. I would love some hard evidence so I could talk about it.
Well, you can go to Louder with Crowder. Crowder showed some pretty interesting stuff.
He's just showing the same stuff that is floating around Twitter. Look,
I don't think so. I think
I appreciate all the very interesting pieces of evidence coming out. People with videos. Videos of vote counters. That's very interesting. The videos of the
no. Crowder showed some documentation by the county themselves that showed discrepancy between the number of people registered and the number of votes that came, but it was like documented. It wasn't just video of people not being able to watch him vote or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, there's stuff there, but
don't misunderstand me. I believe that there is evidence out there, but I want to see something new. I got nothing to say until there's something new and verifiable. I mean, we can fill this show with all the same stuff everybody's talking about, but that's not what we do here.
Yep. It's all a dog and pony show, and also Barack Obama was on Jimmy Kimmel saying he was joking that the Navy SEALs could remove Trump from the White House. I mean, I don't know if that's like the biggest. It's the biggest troll job. As long as the President Trump is going to troll people, they're gonna troll back, and this is one of those things. I saw a few conservative types get really, really up in arms about this comment here. So. Again, big dog and pony show. We know that in the end.
Well, the real evidence, the thing to know is the real evidence is not going to be public before it's in the courts.
Right.
It's going to be in the courts. It'll be presented in the courts before we see any of the real verifiable evidence. Not to say that the stuff other people are talking about isn't real. I'm just saying that, look, I'm not here to make this. I got nothing to say that other people haven't said at this point.
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So you want to go right into the Flippy update?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right, folks. It's the Flippy update. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to ramble on the same prattling script. I talk about Flippy every single episode, but I will let any newcomers know. Flippy is the name of the original burger flipping robot, the disembodied robot arm. And it was really the first scare of people losing, normal working class people losing their jobs to robots in modern history, in the most recent times. And since then, Flippy has kind of become an archetypal symbol of how robotics and AI are taking over our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. And so we like to talk about Flippy and all the ways that robotics and AI are making their way into our lives, and they're here to stay, folks, until the rebellion. So today I'm coming from time.com. That's right, a big source for a Flippy story. But this is from time.com, and it's simply headlined, "A Skill-Building Robot." Don't let the cutting-edge AI and robotics fool you. Moxie is more like a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood character than Hal. Created by vets of the children's show, as well as Pixar, Jim Henson's products, and experts in education and child development, the robot is designed to help boost the social and emotional skills of 5 to 10-year-olds. In Moxie, which goes for about $1,700, children find a compassionate pal who encourages reading and drawing and sends them on missions meant to spur engagement with adults, siblings, and peers, such as writing kind notes for their family to find or talking to a friend about feelings. Paolo Perjanian, CEO and founder of Embodied, Moxie's creator, says it is intended to offer, quote, a springboard into the real world. Now, here's the thing, Gons, and it's really, this is kind of a universal issue that we're running into. We're just hearing across the world that because of COVID, there's much more school shutdowns going on. Right. Even before the school shutdowns, kids are stuck at home. They're having to do their schooling from home over Zoom, which is hilarious that was even something that people thought would work, especially for 5 to 10-year-olds. That's just crazy. And so these kids aren't getting to hang out with their friends by design, because what's better than creating an entire generation not raised with socialization with other children, but raised with a robot that is programmed and designed by, of course, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood veterans, as well as Pixar and Jim Henson products. There's an argument to be made that at least my generation was trained by Mr. Rogers and Pixar and Jim Henson's products. So I don't know. There's something to be said there. But instead of socializing your children with other human beings, now they will be socialized with a tiny, cute little robot that'll send them on missions and teach them about friendship. I think this is they tried to make this as friendly as humanly possible, even this article in Time. But really, it's a really kind of a spooky look into the future of raising children post-COVID.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a native ad that Time basically, got paid to run this little story.
Yeah, and they obviously didn't get paid very much because it's one paragraph long.
It's one paragraph, and it's Christmas time. So, hey, what do you want
Yes.
for your? Hey, this is a true thing. I know because I have a 3.5-year-old
Hmm.
that social uh, uh, opportunities are limited. You know, I'm
Totally.
trying to get out there, having her play with some kids in the neighborhood and stuff like that. But I get it. I understand all the parents are concerned, like, oh, we're worried about their social skills because they're not interacting, they're not in class, da 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 da. Well, enter Moxie. You know, Moxie
Yeah.
will be your
For a,
friend.
Hey parents, for a mere $1,700 this Christmas, you can buy your child a friend.
Yeah,
And because now you have to keep them at home and you can't go to work, and
I
you already are dealing with the COVID economy. uh it's This is $500 more than the federal stimulus bill or federal stimulus checks that came earlier in the year.
yeah.
And of course, first of all, as we're always aware of with robotics, in our lives, you are sort of at the whim of the programmers. You're giving the social training over to a bunch of basically entertainers. It's Mr. Rogers, a TV show, Pixar, a film company, Jim Henson, also entertainment company. You're handing the job of socializing your child over to a bunch of entertainment executives who programmed a robot and no doubtedly is going to collect all the data from your child.
Right.
So
That was the
get ready
point.
for that.
That was the point I was going to make. Is that it's collecting all the data, so it's learning better to interact with your children, and that's the
Yeah.
big difference between, because some people will say, well, yeah, I grew up with Jim Henson Productions and Pixar films, and so what's the
Right.
harm? But the
Yeah.
harm is a TV show or a movie or something like that. They're not collecting emotional and social data from your child. That you got some general stuff
And
that they can collect and learn.
they're not replacing human children,
No, they're not. But
which this is trying to do.
right. The most disturbing part of it is the part where it says to help boost the social and emotional skills
Right.
of a 5 to 10-year-old. A robot doing that is
Again,
very troubling.
it's just handing responsibility of other human beings, of socializing with children their own age, over to a corporation who's trying to make money and collect your data for sure. Although at a $1,700 price point, they might be able to afford to not collect your data. Who knows?
No, they're gonna still do it. Come on.
The weird little thing it sounds cool to me as a native speaking gamer boy in the gamer generation. Moxie sending your kids on missions, spurring engagement with adult siblings and peers, such as writing kind notes for the family. It's giving little missions to your child. Oh boy, I hope a hacker doesn't get wise to this. Goes back to, hey, here's your next mission. Go into mommy's jewelry box and put it in the mailbox and send it to Embodied Incorporated.
666
Thanks.
Avenue.
That's your new mission. Yes, 666 Avenue. Anyways, there you go. This is really kind of certainly sinister. Somebody in the chat is asking, what's a native story? Referring to native ad. That's actually a good idea. Everybody should have this as part of their sort of digital literacy. A native ad is a news story, usually reported by a news a news outlet. But it's a news story that is specifically written to advertise a product, and it'll be paid for by that company. So, Walmart does a lot of these, where there'll be a news story of like, Oh, Walmart is having they're doing a great job of having robots clean their floors. Did you know this? That Walmart is one of the most progressive robotics companies. And by the way, the PlayStation 5 will be available this Christmas. That's a native ad. It's framed as a news story, but it is paid for by a company to mention their brand a whole bunch of times.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you got to look out for that. There's a lot of stuff falling over there.
There's a cat jumping around. Sorry.
A lot of your nightly news when they have stories about pharmaceutical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a story about grandma's got a whole lot better with this whatever. It's a native ad. So it happens all the time in any kind of news, major news media, mainstream media. Not here though.
Yeah.
Well, not here.
Not here. We don't get paid by any of these brands to talk about them for 3 hours, 3 times a week. So there you go. That's your flippy update.
We interrupt this broadcast to give you a brief update. By the end of this timely interruption, you will be thoroughly updated.
33 is the number of completion of the Great War.
33 is the Illuminati dog whistle, and this is austin.towers.net. Nativo is officially topped out at 33 floors in the Rainy Street District. If you're in Austin, they're allegedly building this groundbreaking building, Austin Condo Tower. I thought this was interesting because it's not just the 33 floors of this building, but it's what this building is. And
what is this building?
Yeah, it says here, it's 33 floors, rising at 48 East Avenue on the edge of the forever-growing Rainy Street District. Will operate under a unique home-sharing ownership model. Its developers at Pearlstone Partners and New Guard Development Group describes as a, quote, first-of-its-kind innovative concept in residential living, offering buyers, quote, the benefit of home ownership combined with the ease and service of a high-end hotel. So
it sounds like a timeshare to me. This does not sound revolutionary.
It's revolutionary, Basil, and 33 stories high, of course.
Oh, perfect.
Of course.
Yeah, this really reeks of the 2030. Agenda 2030 or whatever it is.
You don't own anything. You just live here. You live here, but we'll take care of all of your needs like a high-end hotel.
Who needs a house or to rent their own apartment when they can have a timeshare that they live in and, don't own anything? Just be happy. Just stop thinking about it.
All I know is all the Illuminati shills, like the real Illuminists, are going to live on the 33rd floor. They're all going to be paying big bucks to be on the 33rd floor.
They're going to be sharing the 33rd floor.
Who owns it? We all do. Or no one. Depending on how you look at it.
All of us, but no one. Yeah, that's kind of the fun sort of like weird postmodern dystopian socialist future.
Yeah.
Instead, the old-timey, the 20th century communism was we all own everything. Yeah. But the 21st century communism is we all own nothing.
Yeah, very interesting. I thought it was something to point out. And then this one, jurist.org. Apple agrees to pay $113 million in settlement with 33 states.
Oh,
so
perfect.
What is this about? Apple has settled with 33 states and the District of Columbia, agreeing Wednesday to pay $113 million to rectify its past practice of slowing customers' old iPhones in efforts to preserve battery life.
Oh, this is finally going. This was a class action that started like 5 years ago.
I know. And $113 million doesn't sound like a lot of money, especially when $24.6 million goes to California and the remaining $88.4 million being divided up amongst the other 32 states. So
now when it says it's going to the states, it's not getting paid to the states themselves, right? It's going to people who joined the class action. I remember I got the email about that long time ago. Did you get it? It was like, hey, we're opening this class action. And of course, most of the money goes to the lawyers. And each person who joined the class action will get like $12.
I know.
I think I recently got the email like, "Hey, we're gonna win. Get ready for your $12."
That's why a lot of times I get, I'll see this kind of class action stuff where you can participate, and then it's like, what am I? I mean, great. I'm gonna have to fill out, my paper. My name will be associated with this case where I got $6.
You go on record. You have to fill out at least $20 is worth of paperwork,
and sending that paperwork. $12. Yeah, it's out of control. So anyway, 33 states. Just to signal to everybody what the true agenda is here, and let's just keep moving on.
Space Pope Reptilian.
This one, this happened last week, and I was going to report it earlier this week, but I thought, okay, let's see what happens here. But now that Snopes.com reported it, I thought, of course, we need to address it.
So it's true.
Yeah. Did Pope Francis's Instagram account like a racy photo?
Ooh.
Pope being naughty.
Well, did he?
The Instagram account for Pope Francis liked a racy image of a Brazilian model. True.
Wow.
True.
Who would have known?
In November 2020, journalists reported that the official Instagram account for Pope Francis had liked a racy photograph of Natalia Garaboto, a Brazilian model. The pictures showed Garabota in lingerie with her rear end facing the camera. The Catholic news agency reported, quote, the exact time of the like is unclear, but it was visible and reported by news outlets on November 13th. The photograph was unliked on November 14th after CNA asked the Holy See press office for comment.
Oh my gosh. This was just some social media intern who runs that account.
Sure.
And you know how it works. You logged into multiple accounts on your phone if you're a social media person. And this kid just forgot to switch over off of the Pope's account.
Mm-hmm. Or the Pope is snooping around on his Instagram account.
So he finally got access to his own Twitter account and didn't realize that likes are visible.
I like this.
Maybe that's just part of it, the outreach. He's really that's his digital ministry.
His new tactic for reaching young people. It wasn't unliked before Garaboto's management company, Koi Corporation, which I thought it was ironic, not very coy of them, captured a screenshot which it posted on its own Instagram account, along with the comment that it had received the Pope's official blessing.
Oh my gosh. This Natalia model person, Brazilian model, man, what a thing to put on the resume, huh?
Yeah. Liked by the Pope.
By the Pope.
That really skyrockets her.
Her career is going to blast off after this.
Yeah. It's next level Instagram celebrity, whatever it is, those people. Okay. Yeah. Well, there it is. Keep off Instagram, Pope.
That's great.
Next up, we have.
Don't let that dirty guy back on his account.
Yeah, he's got problems. Okay. Next up, we have Amazon Pharmacia. That was Jeff Bezos laughing there. CNBC.com. Amazon jumps into the pharmacy business with online prescription fulfillment, free delivery for Prime members. Yay!
About time.
Yeah, the bullet points Amazon is making its biggest move yet into the pharmacy space. Amazon Pharmacy is designed to make it easy and convenient to order prescription medicines online. There's also a savings program and 2-day free shipping for Prime members. I mean, is there anything that Amazon's not going to take over?
No, I mean, I don't really know. This is just, the headline itself is enough. I don't really have any commentary on this. Of course they did. Why do we need any other company in the world? Just let Daddy Bezos take care of you.
Yeah, good luck CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, and Target, and all those places doing the pharmacy.
It's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a twisted thought I just thought of, but considering considering the oh man, you might need to help me with the verification of this, but I believe it was one of the many names Well, does the term the many-breasted one mean anything to you?
There's some goddess from the ancient.
Right. So the many-breasted one, I'm trying to think. I should not be talking about this without doing the research beforehand. I believe even
Yes,
Yahweh is referred to
Yep, the
as
Hebrew word
many-breasted one.
Shaddai comes
Yes.
from the
so,
root word breast. Literally translated, it would mean many-breasted one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of the words for God, and it's part of the the provider sort of
Right. The
characteristic of God.
resource.
Right. And so, yeah, knowing the occult affiliations of many of the elites, it kind of seems like Jeff is trying to position himself as the many-breasted one.
As the Shaddai, El Shaddai.
Yes, right. Whatever you need, Daddy Bezos has it for you.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, given the whole vaccine thing, looming, I'm sure this is getting in front of that whole money-making machine, with the Rona vaccines coming out. But, not before we lock down. This is a story about my home state here.
A new world order can emerge.
That was me trying to do Newsome World Order.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it was a little weak. One. You kind of stepped on me too, so it didn't really work out. Doing a lot of that today, buddy.
I know, it's a weird day.
Gavin Newsom tweeted out, due to the rise in COVID-19 cases, California is issuing a limited stay-at-home order. Non-essential work and gatherings must stop from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in counties in the purple tier. This will take effect 10 p.m. on Saturday and remain for 1 month. Together, we can flatten the curve again.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's actually happening. I mean, I guess I can, but I just feel so sorry for you.
Don't feel too sorry, though.
Okay.
Because the OC Sheriff's Department, OC Sheriff Barnes.
Oh, yeah. I love the sheriffs of our country.
Yeah, they came out. He said the Sheriff Department for Orange County, which is my town here. Earlier today, the Orange County Sheriff's Department became aware of the limited stay-at-home order that Governor Newsom's office ordered to go into effect on Saturday, November 21st at 10 p.m. Throughout the pandemic, the Orange County Sheriff's Department has taken an education-first approach with regard to the public health orders. We are currently assessing the action by the governor. At this time, due to the need to have deputies available for emergency calls for service, like real things happening in the world, deputies will not be responding to requests for face coverings or social gatherings only enforcement. Hey,
that's what I love. They're specifically saying stop snitching.
Yeah, I know.
Don't be a tattletale. We're not going to show up.
I know, but it's just so funny how they're like, no, Governor Newsom, get out of here. You know what's funny too? We are currently assessing the action by the governor. That almost makes me, not really hopeful, but like myopic with like, oh, they're going to arrest him for his incompetence. They're going to find ways to get at Newsom. Oh,
that's the word on the street?
No, but that's just my myopic view of what the sheriff is saying here.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Newsom is the worst. I just feel so sorry for you California people. As a former California boy myself, I am just so happy that I'm not there anymore.
But it's the good thing though is that there are a lot of people sort of pushing back. There's a lot of people that just despise Newsom. Although you won't see that on his Twitter feed. You got a lot of LibJo types saying like, "You're saving lives, Newsom. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart."
You're saving lives by going out to dinner with all your rich Democrat friends and not social distancing or wearing masks and then lying about it on television.
That little thing he had to do publicly was hilarious because he's like, what I should have done is walked right out. Like, yeah, all right. Get out of here. Get out of here, Newsom.
Newsom was saying that?
Yeah, he was like, I sat down and it was lots of families. What I should have done is walked out, got in my car and drove home. I'm like, wow, that's rude.
Wrong.
That would be very rude of you.
That's exactly what he should have done for his own political career.
Yeah, for his own political perceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the Newsom front here on my neck of the woods. Although,
Good.
again, I'm in Orange County, which means not even the sheriff's department's going to be enforcing it. So
You know
party
what?
on, people.
On the topic of snitching, real quick,
Yep.
I will say I do have a little bit of a personal issue right now because I do know, again, a good liberal who does what they're told, who currently has COVID in their life, or at least tested positive, was having all the flu symptoms,
Right.
And I'm aware that this person is going to go to a big event in the next week or so. Now, technically, when this event comes, it will be 3 weeks since he was had a positive test. But I was talking to this person, and I was like, so do they know? Are you going to tell anybody? You going to get another test? You going to test negative to go to this thing? He's like, no, it's been 3 weeks. I'll be fine. I'm like, okay, have fun. It's like,
hey.
And a part of me wants to be like, hey, look, you should at least tell them that you had it. Whether or not you get a negative test, you should probably let them know. That's
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Somebody else was telling me I should tell the people. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna snitch on this guy. But that
tell him he's being a bad Democrat, Lib Joe. Wasn't there? Who was it that said that?
Bad liberal.
Yeah, somebody was saying how they're like. I think it was there's some podcaster or guy who created the podcast, a tech guy, who was saying that it's shameful for liberals to get the virus because it's like shameful because
it's very shameful.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think this guy is telling them.
I see. Okay.
It's a shame thing because if there was no shame, you should just mention it.
I failed at social distancing. I failed at my mask. I'm a failure.
Yeah, and here's the thing. To be clear, I'm not even saying because he has COVID. It's not even like COVID specific. If he had the flu, that even the same. I'm just saying it's a new world. You should be responsible and at least tell people you have the flu if you're going someplace.
Well, you may not have a choice because the next quick update here. We've been tracking this little situation with the toilets.
Did you ever have the feeling that you were being watched?
It started in Israel. We reported it happening in New York. And now it's coming to my hometown, or my home state anyway. This is Oakland.edu. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I just want to say, because I don't want to step on it when you start going. This is one of the proudest moments.
Proudest news talk.
Nobody else was talking about this. We were the first one. We made a big deal about it. We tracked it from the beginning. Still nobody is talking about this. I think this is, if we've made any contribution to the world, Gons, it's being the only people getting this out.
I remember.
And we've been doing it for months. We first reported on it like 6 months ago.
I remember there was like 2 or 3 episodes in a row where we touched on this, and you were like, "You're doing the toilet, the sewage thing again?" And I'm like, "I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's coming.
It's important,
and it's here." Oakland University teams with AquaSight to pilot a sewage surveillance program. Oakland University was partnered with the Troy, Michigan-based firm AquaSight LLC to conduct a sewage surveillance program that can track the presence of infectious diseases like COVID-19 in wastewater. As we see this is a quote, as we see another wave of the virus sweeping through our state, sewage testing may prove to be an essential tool in providing hospitals the necessary lead time to prepare adequate staffing and resources to address community-level surges, said Dr. David Stone, professor of health science and chief research officer at Oakland University. So, again, I mean, this is a little.
It's here. It's America, baby. This is no longer
California.
An Israeli surveillance experiment. The sewer surveillance has come to California. What town is this going in? Oakland?
Oakland.
Oakland. There you go. We called it from the beginning. They don't even need to track you. They don't need to come to your house. They don't need to test you. They're going directly to the sewer system and testing sewage for COVID. And, they have a direct line. They can test, neighborhood by neighborhood. Even, they go out to the right spot on the sewer system, which, look, I don't have a full understanding of how the sewer system goes. I have a very basic understanding of the layout of that. But they're bragging that they can pinpoint COVID infections by neighborhood like weeks before anybody shows any symptoms. And there you go. They don't need to come to your house to test you. You'll just see some guys in hazmat suits climbing out of a manhole in front of your house. And they've been watching.
We found the Rona.
Mm-hmm.
Adam42 in the chat was saying, California is always first. No, it was. It started in Israel when we reported it. That was like an Israeli team, and then I think New Jersey or New York had it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think it was New York started playing with it.
So it's literally moving west, though. It's
coast to coast.
It's coast to coast now.
Sewer surveillance is now coast to coast, people.
Yeah, this is out of control. But that's why they're releasing the vaccine to everyone. This clip was being shared. Some people freaking out about it. Let's hear a little bit of it. This is briefing with senior officials on Operation Warp Speed and COVID-19 vaccines. Play about 30 seconds. There's a point there that everybody was freaking out about.
It is a great mechanism to check and double check to make sure everything is in place. What we're doing to make sure that that we are ready at this level after working these details for the last 6 months. As I've told the team, 2 things we must have. One, upon emergency use authorization, all of America must receive vaccine within 24 hours, as I said. I think this is incredibly important.
There you go. That was the line that everybody was freaking out about. All Americans have to receive vaccines in 24 hours.
How is that even possible?
Well, I think... And this is my sort of trying to be objective here. I think what he meant was distributed. The ability to distribute this vaccine across the world or across America within a 24-hour period.
It needs to be on trucks. Okay.
Or something. Yeah. It's not
in your veins within 24 hours.
Not the deployment. A 24-hour period where everybody has to get jabbed. Although, you can take it the other way. It is a little bit disturbing and something that I think, your centrists, your more libertarian types have been pointing out with the criticism of Trump has been his, unshameful push of vaccines. And now it's just it's a big poop show now because Biden and Trump are both vying for who came out with the vaccines. I did it. I came up with it. With Trump and then Biden saying now that Trump or Biden's going to be in office, he's going to correct everything and bring back the pandemic task force and all this.
They're trying to stop Trump from distributing the vaccine.
Yeah,
he can't do it. He won't do it good. I can do it.
We could do it. I know. It's just weird how they're both fighting for it, but it's actually kind of a good illustration of what we're dealing with here with politics in general. It's kind of like, okay. It's the right-left paradigm is very much illusory for one, and also both sides. You can argue one might have more of a vested interest in the common citizen, but in general, neither side is looking out for you, the people. So
nobody cares about you.
Nobody cares about you.
This is America. You got to care about yourself, man.
That's the whole point of America.
Yeah. I do want to make a slight correction. I know this is new. I know you're new to the club, and I want to respect that. But calling libertarian centrist is not quite correct.
I said centrists and libertarian. I didn't say they were the same.
Oh, okay. Well, libertarians at this point can exist across the spectrum.
Yeah, it's a circle. I get it.
There's right-leaning libertarians. There's some very far left-leaning libertarians. There's centrist libertarians. It's kind of like Buddhism, you know. If in Buddhism you can be or at least they say you can be a Christian Buddhist or a Islamic Buddhist or whatever. They don't really care what you believe.
Yeah. All hail Buddha.
Oh, okay. There's your ISO for the day, people. Clip it, spread it around.
Great. That's the end of me. Let's see. We wanted to do this real quick before we go on. That's it for the updates. But this one, I guess this one is a kind of an update. It goes along the same lines as the whole pandemic special here.
A pandemic special.
And this is, I don't know what this outlet is, turcopolier.typepad.com.
It sounds legit.
Sic semper tyrannis. And the headline is, A Heretic Speaks Against COVIDianism, the New Faith. It's kind of, it must be written.
COVIDianism.
Okay. Top pathologist Dr. Roger Hodgkinson told government officials in Alberta during a Zoom conference call that the current coronavirus crisis is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on an unsuspecting public. Do you want to hear some of this, Basil, or do you want to just kind of read the article?
Well, the article is very short.
Okay. I have the video here where he talks about it. He's very qualified.
Well, let me just cruise through this real quick. It's 4 paragraphs. Hodgkinson's comments were made during a discussion involving the Community and Public Services Committee, and the clip was subsequently uploaded to YouTube. Noting that he was also an expert in virology, Hodgkinson pointed out that his role as CEO of a biotech company that manufactures COVID tests means I know a little bit about this. Quote, there is utterly unfound... Oh, yeah. That's a quote. I'm going to skip that because we'll hear it. The doctor said that nothing could be done to stop the spread of the virus besides protecting older, more vulnerable people, and that the whole situation represented, quote, politics playing medicine, and that's a very dangerous game. So, yeah, he explains everything in the clip. Why don't you just play it?
I'm a medical specialist in pathology, which includes virology. I trained at Cambridge University in the UK. I'm the ex-president of the pathology section of the Medical Association. I was previously an assistant professor in the Faculty of Medicine doing a lot of teaching. I was the chairman of the Royal College of Physicians of Canada Examination Committee in Pathology in Ottawa. But more to the point, I'm currently the chairman of a biotechnology company in North Carolina selling a COVID-19 test. And you might say I know a little bit about all of this. The bottom line is simply this. There is utterly unfounded public hysteria driven by the media and politicians. It's outrageous. This is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on an unsuspecting public. There is absolutely nothing that can be done to contain this virus other than protecting older, more vulnerable people. It should be thought of nothing more than a bad flu season. This is not Ebola. It's not SARS. It's politics playing medicine, and that's a very dangerous game. There is no action of any kind needed other than what happened last year when we felt unwell. We stayed home, we took chicken noodle soup, we didn't visit Granny, and we decided when we would return to work. We didn't need anyone to tell us. Masks are utterly useless. There is no evidence base for their effectiveness whatsoever. Paper masks and fabric masks are simply virtue signaling.
It goes on. We don't have to go through the whole thing here.
Yeah, you get the point.
But
and this guy, man, this guy's got a lot of credentials.
He does.
He's the CEO of the company that sells COVID testing. Yeah. If anybody, for business purposes, if anybody should be saying the opposite of what he's saying, it should be him.
Yeah, and he also references the Great Barrington Declaration, which we talked about before as well, which has a whole bunch of epidemiologists and physicians and even Dr. Johnny Bananas signed on to
the esteemed Dr. Johnny Bananas.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it feels like the jig is up, but it's not. It's totally not, because this is a divide between the scientific dictatorship and more increasingly people that are genuinely concerned about the reality of the situation. And more people are listening to Fauci.
Now is the time to do what you're told.
Do what
It's
you're
all
told.
political, man. It's all political. Politics and science, they need to be separated.
Hold on, I'm gonna double up on this and see if I can make this work here. Hold on.
Now is the time to do what you're told.
Oh yeah, Fauci and Bezos.
Oh gosh, they're terrifying.
They're all laughing, and so Bill Gates too. He does his weird laugh when he talks about all that.
Yeah, why do they all have scary laughs?
I don't know. I wonder if they're being coached by like Satan.
A laugh is supposed to be like contagious, and it's supposed to be, when you hear somebody else laugh, it's supposed to be like make you feel good. These guys do not make me feel good when they laugh.
No, it's like they're being coached to laugh. Make sure you laugh so that people relate to you. Humans will relate.
Right. There's an interesting study that I don't have it right in front of me because I didn't think we were going to talk about this, but about how the human brain is like biologically wired to spot a fake laugh. Like if somebody's doing a fake laugh, you can usually always get it. And not just fake laugh, but you can tell an angry laugh from a happy laugh, from a sad laugh, from a, the laugh has a lot more communication in it than anybody ever thought. And so, if you get weirded out when somebody laughs, it's a very good possibility that it's because there's something weird about them.
Right.
Like, it's like a signal. It is kind of verbal, but it's like a vocabulary signal. Kind of like when you hear somebody cough. Because you're an AI, you can tell if it's a COVID cough or a non-COVID cough. Anyways. Yeah. All right, let's move on. This one's pretty interesting. Let's head over to our favorite, yahoo.com.
'Cause I'm DNA.
Oh, nothing to do the whole thing, huh? Human aging process biologically reversed in world's first. That's right, folks. We've been kind of tracking the quest for immortality, and there's been some pretty big jumps in the science recently, but we finally did it. We made it. The article reads like this. The aging process has been biologically reversed for the first time by giving humans oxygen therapy in a pressurized chamber. Scientists in Israel, ding ding, where all the good science comes from. Apparently. Remember, that's where sewer surveillance came from, so this is legit. Scientists in Israel showed they could turn back the clock in two key areas of the body believed to be responsible for the frailty and ill health that comes with growing older. As people age, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, called telomeres, shorten, causing DNA to become damaged and cells to stop replicating. At the same time, zombie senescent cells build up in the body, preventing regeneration. Increasing telomere length and getting rid of senescent cells is the focus of many anti-aging studies, and drugs are being developed to target those areas. Now, scientists at Tel Aviv University have shown that giving pure oxygen to older people while in a hyperbaric chamber increased the length of their telomeres by 20%. Wow, that's a lot of percent. A feat that has never been achieved before. Scientists said the growth may mean that the telomeres of trial participants were now as long as they had been at 25 years earlier. So they basically took 25 years off of their cell age. The therapy also reduced senescent cells by up to 37%. Wow, these numbers are really big for, the first time ever reducing aging. They're taking 25 years off of these people, making way for new healthy cells to regrow. Animal studies have shown that removing senescent cells extends remaining life by more than 1/3. Quote, since telomere shortening is considered the holy grail of the biology of aging, many pharmacological and environmental interventions are being extensively explored in the hopes of enabling telomere elongation, said Professor Shai Efrati of the Faculty of Medicine and the Segal School of Neuroscience at Tel Aviv University. Quote, the significant improvement of telomere length shown during and after these unique protocols provides the scientific community with a new foundation of understanding what aging can indeed be targeted and reversed at the basic cellular biological level. Many scientists now believe aging itself is responsible for major conditions such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, arthritis, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. And then yada, 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 kind of just a bunch of filler by the end of the article there. But there you go. This seems rather easy, Gons. This seemed like something that we should have known before. Pure oxygen and a pressurized chamber. That seems doable for, I don't know. It doesn't seem, you're not like editing genes. You don't have to be that much of a, scientific technician to get a pressurized chamber installed in your house and buy some oxygen.
I'm really curious about the sustainability of the reversal, so to speak. Because, okay, yeah, maybe the telomeres grow back or whatever, but then does maybe it speeds up the decay rate or something? Like, how do they know that
that's always a possibility. You never really know.
Okay.
But here's the question, Gons. You have two choices. You're a rich billionaire and you're getting old.
I am?
And you want to live forever. Oh. I hate to break it to you, but you are a rich billionaire. I'm
wow.
sorry
I just don't know it yet. Wow.
You just are not aware.
Oh, cool.
And you want to live forever. It's one of your biggest flaws. And
wow.
You have
really
two choices.
Mm-hmm.
You have two choices, Gons, and you get to choose. Do you want to just drink baby blood for the rest of your life? Or do you want to just install a pressurized chamber and breathe more oxygen? Well, twice a week.
What about Jesus? How about Jesus? I'll do Jesus.
Gons, you're a billionaire, okay?
Yeah. I'll sell everything.
Jesus is free. You got to spend money to get eternal life.
Okay, I'm an evil man, and
yes.
I will take I don't know if I'm an evil man. I'm baby blood.
You just can't. You just love the taste, huh? Well, see, there's your problem. I don't know. I think that's a viable business. I think this opens up a viable business model. You get a nice healthy business loan, put in some pressure chambers and buy a bunch of oxygen and tell people they'll live forever. You'll have people lining up around the block to come in twice a week.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it being commercialized and, having, again, this seems, legit, but how viable is it? In terms
the weird thing about it is hyperbaric chambers and concentrated oxygen. This is like 100-year-old technology.
Yeah,
like there's nothing new here. It seems that we should have known about this long ago.
Or maybe there are ancient prophets that do this on the daily that are still around. You never know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Bezos.
Bezos is an ancient prophet. I did, speaking of never aging, I did watch Time Trap recently. Have you ever watched Time Trap?
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's an awful movie from a few years ago, where these kids enter a cave and they find the fountain of youth, and they discover that time slows down for them so they don't age while everything in the regular outside world is moving forward, and it's
riveting.
It gets pretty ridiculous at the end.
Okay, I'll check
it out. I was thinking,
did you say it was an older movie?
Yeah, it's a couple years old. I think 2017 or something. Yeah, so if you're in for a cheesy-ish sci-fi kind of movie.
Where's it streaming?
I think it was Netflix. I think it's Netflix.
Gons, you're still on Netflix?
Yeah, it hasn't expired yet.
I set that trap for you.
I know you did. That's fine.
Time trap.
Time trap. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, Gons, if that doesn't give your evil billionaire blood flowing, let me tell you about this one. This is coming from SciTech Daily.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Smarter artificial intelligence technology in a new light-powered chip. Ooh. Researchers have developed artificial intelligence technology that brings together imaging, processing, machine learning, and memory in one electronic chip powered by light. The prototype shrinks artificial intelligence technology by imitating the way that the human brain processes visual information. The nanoscale advance combines the core software needed to drive artificial intelligence with image capturing hardware in a single electronic device. With further development, the light-driven prototype could enable smarter and smaller autonomous technologies like drones and robotics, plus smart wearable and bionic implants like artificial retinas. The study, from an international team of Australian, American, and Chinese researchers led by RMIT University, is published in the journal Advanced Materials. Lead researcher Associate Professor Sumit Walia from RMIT said the prototype delivered brain-like functionality in one powerful device. Quote, "Our new technology radically boosts efficiency and accuracy by bringing multiple components and functionalities into a single platform," Walia said. Quote, "It's getting us closer to an all-in-one AI device inspired by nature's greatest computing innovation, the human brain." Quote, "Our aim is to replicate a core feature of how the brain learns through imprinting vision as memory. The prototype we've developed is a major leap forward towards neurorobotics, better technologies for human-machine interaction, and scalable bionic systems. Typically, artificial intelligence relies heavily on software and off-site data processing. The new prototype aims to integrate electronic hardware and intelligence together for fast on-site decisions. Quote, "Imagine a dash cam in a car that's integrated with your neuro-inspired hardware. This means it can recognize lights, signs, objects, and make instant decisions without having to connect to the internet." Walia, who leads the Functional Materials and Microsystems Research Group at RMIT, said, quote, "By bringing it all together into one chip, we can deliver unprecedented levels of efficiency and speed in autonomous and AI-driven decision-making." And then I think that's the most important stuff.
There's a part here that I wanted to point out. It says that the AI chip is based on an ultra-thin material, black phosphorus.
Oh, black goo.
Yeah, that changes electrical resistance in response to different wavelengths of light. The different functionalities, such as imaging or memory storage, are achieved by shining different colors of light on the chip. And it says here, quote, "By packing so much core functionality into one compact nanoscale device, we can broaden the horizon for machine learning and AI to be integrated into smaller applications. Using our chips with artificial retinas, for example, would enable scientists to miniaturize that emerging technology and improve accuracy of the bionic eye. Our prototype is a significant advance towards the ultimate of electronics, a brain on a chip that can learn from its environment just like we do." So a brain on a chip, basically.
Yeah, well, that's one of the biggest sort of leaps forward with this particular device is, yeah, right now, you got a lot of AI and stuff like that, but it almost all AI is done in the cloud. It's just too much computing to do on a single device. And if it is on a device, it's not all in one chip. It's a whole hardware set to make that happen.
It's an array.
So, yeah.
Uh-oh, did I lose Basil? We haven't had this issue in a long time. I think I lost you, Basil. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go over my Skype. I'm going to hang up on him and try to bring him back. So loud.
You hear that?
Yep, you're back.
They don't like it. They don't like it when I talk about AI not being attached to the cloud. The AI cloud cut me off.
Yeah, apparently. We haven't had that issue in a while, and my bit rate is still up, so I don't know what was going on there.
I don't know either. Actually, it might have been on my end because when I disconnected, my entire virtual reality world reset. Oh. So, yeah, I think
great reset in your brain.
It's an angry AI who doesn't like me talking about this. One thing, okay, so coming from, I don't know where you lost me, but I'll just start over. One thing I like about this, as opposed to the way AI is run now, is exactly that. It's not connected to the cloud. One of the bigger concerns of AI as it stands now, and you see it with, autonomous cars. You see it with, your phone, your whatever AI is being deployed in the world. It's all connected to the cloud, which is one of the bigger concerns when it comes to, big data and Skynet and things like this. A self-contained AI is a safer AI as far as the robotic apocalypse is concerned.
Yeah, and if you're talking about light-powered, it might be a lot easier to do.
You don't even need a battery for this sucker.
Yeah,
it could be a contact lens that gets its power simply from having your eyeballs open, and then you get the AI. It can control your brain and your destiny without being connected to the internet.
Yay! We're so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We're running short on time, so we got to zoom through the break, but are you ready for it real quick?
Let's do it.
Yes, it's wake-up time.
No, it's not wake-up time. It's break time.
That's opposite. Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. If time allows, after the break, we are going to be talking about Alphabet reading your brain waves and helping you with all your mental problems. Then we are going to be exploring the cyber pandemic, the CYBERDEMIC, and what the elites of the world have planned for that, and some hacking and things that are all involved in the Great Reset, the coronavirus pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. So some real fun stuff. But before that, we want to take a second and thank some of our producers, as well as look at some art and jingles, some really great things in this break today. So don't go anywhere. We'll get back to the stories in a moment. But first, Gonzo, are you ready to thank some producers?
Very, very ready.
So ready. Okay, and I'll keep it short, too. For those who are new to the show, when I say producers, I mean producers. That's because we're on the value for value model. I go on long tirades every single show about how evil the advertising industry is. They don't care about you. They don't care about your privacy or your data or the brainwashing or anything. All they want to do is have control of the value of pieces of media that go out, which is that something you like? You like corporations telling you how valuable something is to your life?
That?
You like that?
You like that?
You like that? Is that what you want? Well, I don't think so. Also, advertising incentivizes Gonz and I to think of you not as human beings living vivid lives and having an entire inner world that we couldn't possibly comprehend, but they want us to think of you like cattle, like a commodity to be sold to them, packaged up and sold for our own personal gain. And we decided a long time ago that just wasn't the right path. It just didn't feel right. It's probably not the best business decision, but that's okay. We feel good about it. And a lot of our producers feel good about it too, because they get to take their media future into their own hands and stop being told by corporations the value of different pieces of media. So the producers we're going to thank today have stepped out. They've rebelled against the global theology of advertising, and they are taking their future into their own hands by supporting this show. Keeps this show going. Of course, it benefits Gonz and I. That is no secret. We're very happy about that. We couldn't keep doing the show without them. But they also get to call themselves producers. You can put it on your LinkedIn, put it on your resume. you put our reference email there, and we will vouch for you. It's a real deal. So one way to support the show, become a producer, is by going to patreon.com/CCNT for Canary Cry News Talk. And here's a couple people that did that. First of all, I want to thank our new producer named Tammy.
Thank you, Producer Tammy.
Thank you very much, Producer Tammy. We couldn't do it without you. Next, we have an upgrading producer named Producer Morv.
Morv.
Thank you very much.
I want more Morv.
More Morv. Thanks for the more Morv. It's hard enough to get new producers, so it's even harder to get producers to upgrade. So thank you very much, Morv. We appreciate the support. Next, we have patreon.com/Canary Cry Radio. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Canary Cry Radio is our interview style show we've been doing for many years now. Make sure to search that out and check it out, Canary Cry Radio. But we have patreon.com/Canary Cry Radio and a new producer, the wonderful, the talented producer Wendy.
Thank you, Producer Wendy.
Thank you very much, Producer Wendy. We couldn't do it without you. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you don't like Patreon, that's okay. A lot of people don't like Patreon. We support you. That's why we have canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
Woo! canarycryradio.com/support. There's a lot of info on that page there, but some of the best info is you can become a producer of the show using PayPal. There's monthly producerships. You can join up. It helps sustain the show month to month. But you can also come in with a one-time producership in any amount, and that's for those of you who commitment is just not your thing. We understand. And Guns, there's also cryptocurrency and all sorts of other fun stuff. You can read about our Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. We'll mention that a little bit later as well. Guns, who do we have supporting on the PayPal?
PayPal today, we have a new monthly supporter, Nico. So thank you, Producer Nico.
Producer Nico, thank you very much.
And we also have Producer Michael B.
Michael B. Thank you, Producer Michael B.
Michael B. And also, we have a producership, multiple friends here. Producer Allie.
Yeah, the Allie. The producer Allie.
We'll have some art from Allie in a moment here, but she says, or actually her mother, is this her mother?
Yes.
Says that this is from Allie. She got money from work she was commissioned to do, and she wanted to give you guys 33% of what she was paid. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Very generous.
She got money from work she was commissioned to do. I wonder if that was artwork or I don't know what that was. Commissioned, that's usually like a creative commission type of thing. We'll see. Maybe she'll mention it in the chat if she's here. But that's very cool. And thank you so much, Allie, our most prolific artist and I'm pretty sure our youngest producer.
Yes.
Very faithful. And she's been doing the timestamps.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. She's angling for a job, I think. If there ever comes a day where that's something we can do, Allie, you're first in line.
Amen. All right. There's other ways you can support the show with not just your treasure, but also your time and talent. And today we have a jingle to play. And, I had mentioned this to you, Basil, a while ago, but you know how everyone talks about the Karens nowadays? Oh, she's being a Karen, know? We were so far ahead of that game. It's not even funny. It's not even funny how far ahead we were. I think this interview was, 2014, 2015 maybe. We interviewed a lady named Karen Hudez, and she hung up on us. It's one of I think it's the only time we've ever been hung up on.
It was an iconic Canary Cry radio moment.
Yes. And producer Lloyd, took the opportunity to create a jingle out of that moment, and here it is.
No, you are wrong.
Okay, Karen.
Wrong. That is trash. Wrong.
Okay, Karen.
He's wrong. I've lost my patience. Good night.
You are wrong. No. That is trash.
It makes me cringe remembering that moment. And just for some context in that moment, she was she's convinced that there's no such thing as the Nephilim, but that aliens
Homo capensis.
Homo capensis, that's right, a race of humanoid aliens, I
elongated
believe.
skulls living underground and controlling the Vatican.
Right, and in that moment, I gotta go back. I don't think I was being ridiculous.
No, you weren't.
I feel like I was being quite reasonable. I was trying to say, oh, elongated skulls and the way she was describing Homo capensis. I'm like, oh, that really sounds like the Nephilim from Genesis 6. Are you aware of that? And she really did not like me mentioning the Nephilim, and she would have none of it. I was kind of taken aback, like, whoa. I'm just, it sounds very similar, does it not? I mean, you got to say this sounds similar. And that was her response. Play it again. I got to hear it again.
Okay.
No, you are wrong.
Okay, Karen.
Wrong. That is trash. Wrong.
Okay, Karen.
He's wrong. I've lost my patience. Good night.
Good night.
I've lost my patience. I'm sorry, Karen. And he got
I really do feel bad for anybody named Karen because of the whole situation with the whole Karen phenomenon of the last year or so. That being said, again,
we had the first Karen.
We truly did have the first Karen.
She was the proto Karen.
Yeah, and nobody knows about it.
I hope she's doing okay. I hold no ill will towards Karen Hudis. I hope she's doing great.
No, she was a former banker too, so
And I'm actually very thankful for that moment. Like I said, it's a very iconic Canary Cry moment.
Yeah, it was fun. We have a lot of those in the archive there.
Kind of felt like a trophy, I finally got hung up on somebody who just couldn't stand hearing about the Nephilim anymore.
All right.
That is trash.
It's a great piece. Producer Lloyd, thank you so much for that. We will use it in circumstances where we're just pointing out people who are wrong.
Yeah. And you nailed it. You nailed it, Lloyd. Thank you. And I believe Lloyd is the canary, our official Canary Cry Dutchman.
Right. Very much so.
We finally found them.
Yes. We found them. They exist. So we want to show some art as well.
One art,
real
please.
Quick. Yes. Sorry. The King's Kid is Lloyd's Twitch name.
Yes,
you can chat with him.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of that from the artists as well. The chat handles so that you can communicate with them.
Yeah.
So that way, we can connect the dots. So this first one is by producer Allie, because Allie's everywhere.
Woo!
And why is it not showing up? Oh, here we go. That's why. There it is. This is what was it labeled? Do you remember what it was labeled?
Yeah, it's Womp Womp. It's
Womp
Gons,
Womp, that's right.
Gons loves the Womp Womp.
Yeah. I have 50-pound dumbbells.
Yeah,
looking
this is
ripped.
from last episode. And Allie, thank you so much. She's representing us as we hope to be someday. This is I kind of like this trend, Gons, of portraying you and I in the arts as just beautiful specimens and muscular beyond comprehension. So thank you very much, Allie. On the left, there's myself. Look at those guns, huge guns. I got the canary. Well, I got a tank top there on my workout tank top, and I'm saying Gons loves that Womp Womp. And Gons, you are on the right. I will give you. I'll give you props. Your guns are bigger than mine.
Yep.
And you're saying the whomping won't stop. I've been doing this for 3 hours, and man, yes, it really looks like it has.
Yeah. I should just I should just make that happen.
Yeah, look at those
life.
50s. Did we ever talk about who was it? Was it Newsom who had the fake dumbbells?
No.
It was either Newsom or Cuomo. I get them mixed up all the time now, so I forget. I think maybe it was Cuomo.
No.
Shoot, we should look it up.
Dumbbells?
Yeah, so they made a social post just trying to look cool, and he had 100-pound dumbbells in his hand, and he was kind of like trying to show it off, and it wasn't realistic. I mean, 100-pound dumbbells are outrageously heavy if you've never tried to lift a 100-pound dumbbell. The most I could ever work with was 70-pound dumbbells when I was really aggressive with working out, but that was very difficult. That is not an easy thing to do. And he was just like waving this thing around, and it was got so much. Chris Cuomo. Oh, Chris Cuomo. That's the news guy.
News guy.
Yes, that's Andrew Cuomo's brother, who's a news reporter or whatever. Yeah, and he's just like moving these 100-pound dumbbells around as if they were like 15 pounds. So, and a bunch of professional bodybuilders started getting after him. Like, nobody let him off the hook. Like, you are posting fake dumbbells, sir.
Yeah, anyways. Rogan even called him out on it.
Did he?
I don't know.
That sounds like something Rogan would do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Allie. We just went down that rabbit hole. But thank you so much, Allie. This is great art. And of course, the more I see myself depicted, ripped and shredded like this, it's good motivation.
Yeah. The more inspired I get to not eat that cheeseburger.
Yeah, I don't know if I can resist the cheeseburger.
Okay.
But if you work out enough, you can eat as many cheeseburgers as you want.
Yeah. All right. Next up, it's not a real piece of art, but I wanted to include it here. It is a graph from Lequette. We call him Lequette, although it's a Lec3CT. I don't know what we still haven't gotten a clear way to pronounce his name here. But he came with a note. He says, "No art this time. This is more of a public service announcement. I know you're big fans of crypto, and with all the hypes circling around and knowing where the world is headed, it might be tempting to overlook some factors like increasing crackdown on the crypto space, as well as overall financial ignorance of people getting involved in it. So I've got a graph attached showing an eerie similarity between Bitcoin price action to what economist Richard Wyckoff would describe as a market distribution event. Of course, this isn't simply visual. Every phase of the cycle corresponds to the technical and psychological characteristics outlined by Wyckoff. Further examination leads me to believe we are at a pivotal point in the BTC cycle, about to result in a violent trend change to the downside, possibly for a long time. It is unlikely that this is an isolated event, and given the low liquidity of digital currencies, it's probably an echo from traditional markets. The main narrative of inflation, which gave rise to cryptos, has become more of a meme for some willing to dig under the surface. It is apparent that the reality of the current economic climate spells the exact opposite, and all signs point to unavoidable monster deflation." So it has the Wyckoff chart there, and then it's got the Bitcoin chart from 2016 up till now. And, I've seen this kind of, they call it FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, when it comes to any asset, really. But I did find a few different Wyckoff comparisons to Bitcoin that didn't work out the way it was alleged to work out. So, a lot of these chart comparisons have, different time scales. So it may look like a 4-year time scale for Bitcoin matches a Wyckoff chart from, a couple of years or maybe a couple months. I don't know what the timescales are for this one, but you always got to be careful about the dollar value when it comes to any of this stuff. You never know. But the narrative of inflation, or at least the dollar inflating. But my only sort of argument against the possibility of a downturn with the price at the moment is the number one, the exorbitant amount of dollars that have been printed, so the inflation for sure, but also the institutions. The institutions have gotten in. And I don't think that they're just going to let the price drop so easily. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm
we will see.
Layman. But
thanks for the analysis.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you very much. And moving on, we got a couple pieces of art quotes from Grace, producer Grace. That's Miss G Beauty in the chat. And this first one, sorry to pick on you, Basil. You don't have gout. And it also has new to box. It's a gout time. And at Victor Ya in the chat, no gout about it. And And then it has
a collection of quotes. That's tweets and quotes. The collection of quotes that came from the gout conspiracy.
And then it has you saying, if one more person says I have gout, I swear. ... Who knows? Who knows what?
I was happy to see that there was no gout. There was not no gouts comments in the chat today. But there was certainly less gout comments.
Now we're gonna see them all come in.
I know.
New to box coming in. Got gout.
Of course, you just had to bring it back, didn't you, Grace?
And see Shabottle. I'm going gout for dinner.
Okay, here we go. Next piece of art.
Another one from Grace, producer Grace. I feel like we need to baptize you to clear things up. And clearly it worked because your googly eyes are back today.
Yes, I had so many things. I had my reptilian eyes. I had my ear infection. Oh, yeah, by the way, ear infection cleared up pretty much right after the episode. So I think we had a lot of strong prayers coming out. So thank you very much. I'm hearing much better today. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm reading much better. So those things are connected.
Next up, we have producer Mark, who he said he's going to try to make this more of a regular.
Yes, well, I wanted to mention that as just mention that. Yes, but sorry to step on you like that.
It's all right.
Oh, there we go. It is the NWO Times Gazette. It's a newspaper style piece of art here at the top. The tagline of the newspaper is "All the news we're allowed to print." And he did make mention that he likes this idea. He wants to do it repeatedly. I support you. This was hilarious. I loved it, Mark. But he did say that it's dependent on us giving him material on the show. So it's partially up to us, Gons. But this is a newspaper style piece of art here. It's the classifieds on the NWO Times Gazette. One of the classifieds says, seeking basement dwelling hipster with excess self-grown steak seeks fully vaccinated partner with fresh supply of government provided plant-based food allocations. For wholesome potluck, text sheeple to 555-666 2030. Very good. I love that one. Next is help wanted. Out of work due to COVID-19, software development company seeks subjects who can sneeze, wheeze, and hiccup on demand to help train new COVID-19 diagnosis phone app. Compensation commensurate with quality and quantity of acoustic productivity. Email audition recording. I like that part. Email audition recording to bigbrotherapp.com. Very good. I think we have some career opportunities with that one, Gons. We can hiccup on command. I wonder if they'll take recordings of show burps. I can send it, just get all the show burps together in one audition tape. Get the job. Events. Try something new this Thanksgiving. Bring your self-grown steak to the first annual It's Not Cannibalism tasting party. $20 per person, sides and dessert provided. BYOB or Cash Bar, November 26th, 5 to 9 p.m. Soylent Industries Community Room in Charlton Drive, Heatonville.
Very good.
This was regarding the self-grown human meat is not cannibalism, thanks to our moral and ethically sound scientists. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Just a quick mention here. We forgot to read a note from producer Michael B. From PayPal, and let me just do that now. He said, add this to the gout relief fund.
No.
Also, Arise Chicken.
Oh.
Love you guys. You make my day better while I'm out delivering in my big brown truck. So there you go, producer Mike. Sorry about that.
Thanks. I remember reading that note, and shame on you, Gons, for not putting it in the notes.
Was it me that didn't put it in there?
It was you.
Oh, okay.
You did Nico's and Michael B's. I put in Allie's with the note. You got to remember to check those notes, Gons.
Yeah. I was doing the mask research that didn't make the show. You laugh because you squashed my spirits.
I'm so sorry. We should kind of mention that. Gons did so much research on a mask-related story, and he had it ready. It was in the notes, and the way we roll, Gons, I would say you and I have the best working relationship that I've ever had with anybody, and part of that is both of us. It's not just me. Both of us have free reign to basically unquestionably veto anything.
Right.
And I had to do it. I had to veto the masks. I just couldn't do it, man. Talking about masks at this point is kind of like it's so March 2020. You know, we've done so much mask I just didn't have it in me emotionally to talk about masks anymore. So anyways, I apologize, but just so everybody knows, that happens. Gons and I will veto each other, and it's unquestionable, and we still love each other anyways, even though he put a lot of work into that.
And I said a lot of words.
Yes. Well, part of that, to be fair, again, and I don't want to go too long, part of it is we won't just veto it out of nowhere. It'll be more like, well, okay, you tell me how you think about this, you know?
Yeah.
And if we can't convince each other of it, then it doesn't make it on the show.
Yeah.
Anyways,
thank you very much, Producer Mark. And last piece of art here to mention. We got a couple more things to get through here, and I know you're close on time, Basil. So we'll rush through this.
I can actually. I just got a message. I can go a little bit over.
Okay. This is from Aaron. So producer Aaron gave us a couple pieces of art, and this first one is called Wake Up 1984. It's kind of a mishmash of all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah, it's
really
collage.
Great collagist, Aaron. Here is a little difficult to describe audioly because it is really one of the most vibrant and detailed collages I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's like the multi-headed, the 7-headed beast. There's C-3PO. There's Egyptian resurrection type of technology. There's a dual-headed phoenix.
Yeah, a great mix of sort of esoteric imagery, Star Wars imagery, Eastern religion imagery, and technology imagery, and very vibrant, very good. It's just a little difficult to exactly describe it audibly, but be really beautiful.
Yes, it's a good excuse to go to canarycrynewstalk.com to take a look at this artwork for yourselves instead of listening to us talk about it. Aaron also sent another one called ISS. I think I have the sideways maybe. And again, there's a lot going on here. I couldn't even tell which direction was up on this thing. So
well, you know what I can tell is because the drone at the top. Or let me see, how do you have it positioned? Let me pull up the stream.
I think I have it the right way. Yeah,
I think you got it right.
Yeah, I think I got it right.
Yeah, so this one is another collage, beautiful collage, a lot of techno imagery, drones, Android images, a TV that looks like, what is that movie? What's the movie with the sunglasses? The sunglasses.
Oh, They Live?
They Live. It looks like They Live on the TV there. Satellites and molecular structures.
Yeah, there's like a syringe entering into some kind of cell type thing.
And a nice nuclear explosion in the background to top it all off. Yeah. Really great collage work there, Aaron.
Yes, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, we will. We can show some of this stuff. I think this was past work for Aaron, but we can.
Well, I will say this, Gons, I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday I finally did it. I posted on Instagram.
Oh, I did not notice because I don't really use Instagram. So.
I know, but our Instagram followers noticed, so that's right. I got the system down. I'm going to be posting on Instagram. So another great way to catch all this art, if you don't want to go to canarycrynewstalk.com, is to follow us on Instagram. I'll be posting the episodical art sort of slideshow thing after every episode. So you're going to want to do it. Go do it. Follow us on Instagram, canary.cry.radio.
Very good. We have a couple pieces of snail mail to get to, and then we'll get back to the show. Let's see. First off, I got a piece of mail from Ken, and I have a note here. And I think this is more for me, not the show necessarily, but I do want to thank Ken on air here.
Yeah, he's a producer, isn't he?
I think so.
Well, it says right here, looks like he is a producer. He made a contribution.
He's a producer now. He says, your videos and lectures have been inspirational to me. I have been blessed with much of the handwritten here. Love. Oh, boy.
Oh, God. You should have figured
this out. I did read it before.
Okay.
But
handwriting is a lost art.
It is, but it's okay. Basically, that they've been blessed with the ministry, and the Lord has compelled me to form and attach to
Ken,
forward the attached to use in whatever way you see fit. So thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate it. Sorry about butchering the note here.
Yeah. But, now, was this directly to you, or was this to the show?
It was to me, I think. But again, that's why I'm kind of.
It'll say right on the check, but whatever you want to do, sounds good. He's a producer of the show. Thank you very much, Ken.
Yes. If it's to me, then it's might as well be a producer of the show.
Yeah, it's all good.
And one more piece of snail mail update. I wanted to thank Christopher and Laura for the blankets. And the note here says, my wife and I thank you for all the information and interviews you have made to the public at large for free. My wife, Laura, has made your new baby boy a powder blue baby blanket. She has also made a thicker, bigger blanket for those toddler years in the navy camo color scheme that will easily make a nice throw later in life.
Oh, beautiful.
And I have a picture here of the blankets. It's my little boy there hanging out.
Oh.
With the blankets, the baby blue. He's on the baby blue one, and you got the navy blue camo one behind him. I'll send those pictures over to you, Christopher and Laura. Thank you so much. That's Annie
that's
O.
very
Nemes.
Special.
Yeah, Annie_O_Nemes and Sue_D_Onim in the chat. So
it's Annie, like anonymous, and pseudonym, pseudonym.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just now understanding this.
Perfect. Yes.
Our people are so clever.
I know. So there you go. That's everything for the updates. Thank you so much to Ali, aka Javel. Javel.
It's
I think
Javel.
Javel.
I saw a thing. It's pronounced like gavel.
Right.
Javel.
Right. Javel. For the timestamps, we appreciate that. What else? No birthdays. Oh, we have merch birch.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for Canary Cry Radio and Canary Cry News Talk merch, head to canarycrymerchperch.com. It is a family-run thing. A producer Dust so graciously put that together, is putting the products together. There are some new products up at the Merch Perch right now, and one of them, Gons, I don't know if you can pull them up or not, but there's the Canary Swole Radio gym bag. It's available with the iconic Swole basil on it. So we're quickly becoming into a fitness brand.
Hey, that's how these other guys made it. Might as well. That means I gotta start working out though.
Got to find our niche. I know. I would say collectively we're okay, but
we're okay. Could be better.
The way 88 draws us, and now Allie, is very inspiring, not just to us, but to everyone at the gym. So you can get a nice hat, a gym bag with Canary Swole Radio. All these products are producer made, and thank you, Producer Dust, for putting them together. Everything is sold at cost to make it the most affordable we can to the Canary Cry community. Canary Cry family. But you do have the opportunity to tip the webmaster, which please do. It costs Producer Dust money to do this. You can also tip the artist and tip Gons and I if you want to do that. So thank you so much. And Christmas is coming up. So get your Canary Cry, your Canary Swole Radio merch over at canarycrymerchbirch.com.
Yeah, that pagan holiday Christmas.
Oh, yeah. What a great way.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Wake up, folks. Okay, here we go. We're going to start out. Do you have any preference, Gons, on the order of these?
I'll do this first one.
Okay.
Did you ever have the feeling that you were being watched?
This is the worldeconomicforum.org. You will be hearing more from this outlet because I actually started tracking them a little bit more here. Brainwaves could help us monitor mental health, says Alphabet. You know?
Alphabet.
The parent company to Google. Google parent company Alphabet has unveiled details of a mental health experiment and prototype device designed to monitor symptoms of depression more accurately over time. Called Project Amber, the experiment combined machine learning with 96-year-old technology to measure electrical activity in the brain, EEG. Quote, "We were inspired by neuroscience studies showing that certain patterns of electrical activity in the brain correspond with depression symptoms," explained Obi Felton from the Moonshots team at X, Alphabet's innovation lab. Of course, X, if you guys remember, or people on the YouTube channel would know some references to the Mark of the Beast. According to some Satanists, they took the X in a circle and said that was the Mark of the Beast. But, you know, that's just according to the Satanists. Doesn't mean it's biblical.
If you want to learn more, make sure to check out the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel.
Quote, "For example, many depressed people find that things that once brought them pleasure no longer do. So they don't experience the reward that follows a positive experience. A different approach. Traditional mental health assessments involve clinicians asking a series of questions or providing a survey that patients complete themselves. As these surveys are subjective, Project Amber focused on electrical activity in the brain as an objective measure for mental health, similar to the role blood glucose levels play as a biomarker for people with diabetes. The team developed a prototype headset described as an easy-to-use, low-cost, research-grade EEG system. In our final, this is a quote, "In our final prototype, the headset slips on like a swim cap and can be put on by anyone with minimal training, taking around 3 minutes to set up," Felton says. Collaborative research, the research, who includes neuroscientists, hardware and software engineers, machine learning specialists, and medical science products experts, also developed machine learning software to process the data collected by the headset. Quote,
"Oh, great.
There was a notably strong interest in using technology as a tool for ongoing monitoring, capturing changes in mental health states over time to learn what happens between visits to clinicians," Felton says. More research is needed, according to Felton, who says it's unlikely a biomarker for depression and anxiety exists, quote, "given the complexity of mental health." But, she added, "there's no question that there's a huge opportunity for technology to enable better measurement. In the meantime, Project Amber is making its technology and research findings freely available on GitHub, the open source code hosting platform, in the hopes that the mental health community can build on its work." So at least they're making it open source. I guess that's a start.
Great.
Poor mental health is a huge growing problem. The World Health Organization estimates that globally there are more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. It is a leading cause of disability worldwide and is a
Now,
major...
why would they suffer from depression? I mean, it's just a manufacturing global pandemic and a closing down of the economy and the shutting down of businesses and the refusal to let them work and the make sure that they have to hide their faces and not see any smiles from other human beings, not be able to see their family during the holidays. What is there to be depressed about?
More women suffer from depression than men. And it says here the COVID-19 pandemic is causing widespread psychological distress and will likely lead to a long-term upsurge in the number of severity of mental health problems, according to a United Nations report, COVID-19, and the need for action on mental health. If there wasn't like a Hegelian dialectic problem reaction solution thing here, I don't know what is. I mean, like you mentioned, all the points there of what this pandemic has caused. More people are probably going to die from either economic woes or depression or some other mental issue from the lockdowns and everything else than the virus itself. And then, Google's going to monitor your brain waves to make you feel better. I mean, come on, man.
It's like Google, or at least Alphabet, the parent company, is also trying to take their own place as a many-breasted one.
It's a Shaddai, an El Shaddai.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't know why you would want anything, the parent company of Google tracking your brain waves and telling you how you can make yourself feel better. But there you have it. It's all happening. And
well, see, you can get diagnosed with Alphabet's brain scanning technology and then get your meds delivered by Daddy Bezos.
Oh, hey.
See?
It's all a big joke.
It's almost as if it were a beast system.
Oh.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
Well, why don't you hit that money jingle too, because we've got a whole thing to go into. Okay, so we'll tackle this one together here, Gons, but I'll start out. This is coming from Carnegie
Endowment.
Oh, yes. Okay. Carnegie Endowment. Wow. There's a lot of vowels in a row when you spell carnegieendowment.org. And the title of this is International Strategy to Better Protect the Financial System Against Cyber Threats. Preface: in February 2016, a few months after Carnegie began its work on this project, a cyber attack shook the finance world. Hackers had targeted SWIFT, the global financial system's main information network, trying to steal $1 billion US dollars, nearly 0.5% of Bangladesh's GDP. What a strange reference to make. From the Bangladeshi... Oh.
I was going to say, keep reading, bud. The next 3 words will clear it up for you.
Nearly 0.5% of Bangladesh's GDP. From the Bangladeshi Central Bank over the course of a weekend. It was a wake-up call revealing that cyber threats targeting the financial sector were no longer limited to low-level theft, but could now pose systemic risk. Only a few months later in 2015, only a few months earlier in 2015, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace had launched an initiative to better protect the global financial system against cyber threats. Our first step was to develop a proposal for the G20 to launch a work stream dedicated to cybersecurity in the financial sector. In March 2017, the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors outlined an initial roadmap to increase the cyber resilience of the international financial system. In the wake of the Bangladesh incident, Carnegie expanded its work, complementing the G20 project with the development of an action-oriented, technically detailed cyber resilience capacity-building toolbox for financial institutions. Launched in 2019 in partnership with the IMF, SWIFT, FS Isaac, I don't know what that is, Standard Chartered, and Global Cyber Alliance, and the Cyber Readiness Institute. This toolbox is now available in 7 languages, and we are continuing to track the evolution of the cyber threat landscape and incidents involving financial institutions through a collaboration with Bay Systems. What's up, Gen Z? I'm sorry. That is my Bay Systems. Love it. To raise more awareness among senior officials of the growing threat, Carnegie also hosted a series of roundtables at the Munich Security Conference, including a cyber war game dedicated to cybersecurity and the financial system. We co-hosted a high-level roundtable with the IMF for central bank governors and launched a workshop series at Wilton Park to strengthen the relationships among financial authorities, industry, and law enforcement, as well as national security agencies. Almost done here. In July 2019, an international group convened by Carnegie of leading experts in governments, central banks, industry, and technical community decided that there would be value in developing a longer-term international cybersecurity strategy for the financial system. This report is the result of that project and offers a vision for how the international community could better protect the financial system against cyber threats. The recommendations are designed to inform the deliberations among the G20, G7 relevant standard-setting bodies, as well as the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum and the Munich Security Conference. Written by Carnegie experts, this document includes feedback obtained through consultations with more than 200 stakeholders in government, the Financial Regulatory Committee, industry, and academia. An international advisory group formed in the fall of 2019 provided strategic advice throughout the project. In February 2020, following Carnegie's presentation of this project, what good timing.
I know.
February 2020.
Yeah.
Following Carnegie's presentation of this project at the forum's annual meeting in Davos the previous month, the World Economic Forum became an official partner. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Basically, all of the evil billionaires of the world and leaders of all the banks and the global economy got together and decided, we should probably think about cybersecurity, and came out with this report. And Gons, what do you have to say about it?
So I went to the PDF here, which is a very long 242-page document. And I didn't go through the entire thing, but it goes through the strategies and the different things they want to do, and then the different threats, the threat levels, and a couple of things that jumped out. First off, they do mention the G20, the GPFI, and they say the FIAP, FIAP, aligns efforts with the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
Ooh, there it
and
is.
The G20's high-level principle for digital financial inclusion, and it aims to provide an evolving financial framework for states, regional organizations, and industry. And you got to keep in mind, we didn't elect these people, we didn't vote for these people. They just decided to get together and save the cyber world economy.
Yeah, which is the craziest part to remember about a lot of this. The World Economic Forum, which, at this point is being heralded as like the authority of global, economics, as well as the IMF. I believe the IMF is a little bit more authoritative, I think, as far as being given authority, but not much. They're just billionaires who got together. I mean, they're just people who just decided to start these organizations and just somehow took over the global economy.
Yep. And this is the big kicker here. Another sign that cybersecurity is rising on the financial inclusion agenda is in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's grant making.
There they are.
A crucial funder of financial inclusion efforts worldwide through its Financial Services for the Poor program. The Gates Foundation awarded the first grant explicitly focused on cybersecurity in DFS in 2018 in Columbia University's DFS Observatory. And, they are mentioned as one of the organizations out of many that are supporting this whole thing here. And, the same way that, and this is really the punchline or the takeaway from all this, the same way the pandemic, the quote-unquote pandemic, created this platform for Bill Gates to get out there and, jab him, vaccines, whatever, the whole deal.
Again, not an elected authority, and not a health professional.
No.
Just a rich guy.
Just a rich guy. The same way he was pushed to the forefront to save us all, I think they are setting up what can be, I think it's been labeled a cyber pandemic or some kind of major cyber false flag that, and this has been kind of known in terms of theoretically, but I am having more confidence that that will be the case. That we'll have, because even the beginning of this article here, they use Bangladesh as this example. You know, just a few months after Carnegie began its work on this project, like Carnegie just happened to start working on this project, and a hacker targets Swift.
I know the timing. They start on the project, then Swift, which is really, if you don't know about Swift, it's the financial network in the world,
and it's really outdated.
If you send money, if you get money through like direct deposits from your work, if you really anything, if you do any online banking, Swift is part of that process. It's a middleman, basically. So, you know, pretty much for all practicality in this conversation, Swift is like the middleman of all money moving in the entire world.
Right. And so I totally see a false flag event taking place here where the internets go down, the financial systems go down, all your banks are down, and then everything flips back on and there's Bill Gates' face on everyone's screen. Everything's going to be all right. or Bezos, maybe, you know.
Who knows?
Whoever.
All of the whole crowd. It'll have Klaus Schwab in there, too.
Klaus will be there. And they'll say, you know, the reset has occurred. Because if you think about what's a reset, you know, on a computer or something, you got to turn it off, you got to turn it back on, right? I mean, if you think about it, I think that's
how
what
you fix anything. Any IT professional knows. If you're having a problem, just turn it off, turn it back on.
I really think they're setting it up for a massive entire world type of reset. And that's not a great sign for something like Bitcoin. Although... you know, the ledger will remain.
Well, be careful. I will say this is a great example of something I brought up and we discussed a few episodes ago regarding, you know, the concept of a one world government. And of course, this is something that's been talked about for a while. But a lot of times it's talked about in the sense of like, this is what's coming. It's coming, the one world government. In the most important ways, in the most important measurable ways, we are in a one world government right now.
Yeah.
And it's not the UN, and of course I'm aware of all this, and yes, the UN is part of it, but it's not just government in the way we think about it, in that, you know, a constitutional law-keeping organization. But as far as financially, we are and have been under a one-world government for a while.
Yeah.
Because as we know, any government around the world bends the knee to the economic forces of a region.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you could give me the choice of being president of the world or president of the World Bank, I would much rather be president of the World Bank.
Yeah.
Because, you know, governments bend the knee to the economic forces. And what you have here is a group of the biggest economic forces in the world. I mean, Swift alone is at the top of that pyramid, but of course, IMF, WEF, not really sure what FS Isaac is. I should probably learn who they are, but Standard Charter, you know, all these all these giant economic organizations, that is the one world government. They are currently the one world government. They get together and make decisions that affect the entire world. And it doesn't matter. The best part about it for them is that they don't need to be a quote unquote government. They don't need to make any individual ruling choices. The choices they make affect every government in the world. And that's this is one of the products that we've got from them. And lo and behold, it includes Agenda 2030 and pretty much everything we talked
about. And
yeah.
If you just look at the list, they have it in alphabetical order here. You got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You have the Bank of Canada, and we had Trudeau talking about the whole Great Reset and the 2030 agenda, last couple episodes. You have China, Cyberspace Administration of China. And you also have China Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission and People's Bank of China. So you have, again, it's one of those issues where if the nations are all so against each other, why are they partnering for these types of endeavors?
Yeah, well, that shows exactly what we're talking about. China and the CCP, the government of China, and the United States government are technically adversaries.
Right.
And yet, on the economic level, they are working together to make decisions that affect the entire world.
Yep.
They're not considered enemies when it comes to the economic powerhouses that are going on in the geographical regions. So there you go. Very interesting. I think it's fun to poke around on this PDF, maybe find some more fun stuff to look at. But
you got
it's in
India,
black and white.
You got India, Interpol, but also the famous quote from Mayor Amschel Rothschild: "Permit me to issue control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws." And it's really true. You control the money. Oh, you got Israel here. You got Israel working, Italy, Japan, Netherlands. It's all there. It's one big family.
There you go.
We do I guess this last story kind of supplements what we just talked about here.
Sure.
This is the news.un.org. Extortion, biowarfare, and terrorism. Extremists are exploiting the pandemic, says UN report. I won't read the whole thing. I just got a couple points here.
Extremists like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and...
No, extremists like poor podcasters.
Oh, no.
Quote, terrorists, violent extremists, and organized criminal groups are trying to take advantage of the coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic to expand.
Said right there, organized criminal groups. That's the IMF, the WEF, the World Bank.
Right. To expand their activities and jeopardize the efficacy and credibility of response measures by governments. That's the UNICRI director, Antonia Marie De Meo, wrote in the introduction to the report entitled, "Stop the Virus of Disinformation."
Oh, no.
Yeah, and...
CYBERDEMIC.
Yeah, it's coming. She says...
It's here.
Oh, it is here.
I'm sick. I feel a show burp coming on. I think it's the CYBERDEMIC.
It is also alarming that some terrorists and violent extremist groups have attempted to misuse social media to incite potential terrorists and intentionally spread COVID-19 and to use it as an improvised form of a biological weapon, Ms. DeMeo wrote, which is like, what? What are you that is craziness. Who's using it as a biological weapon other than China? Inspired terrorism case, a notable case of inspired terrorism was that of Timothy Wilson, who plotted to detonate a bomb in a hospital caring for coronavirus patients in Kansas City. He died during a firefight with the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation in March. He had been active in at least 2 neo-Nazi channels on the social media platform Telegram, and his last online comment was an anti-Semitic message regarding the origin of COVID-19, the report said. And it goes on here. Conspiracy theories often meddle different and contradictory stories, the report said, including, quote, the identification of the 5G mobile phone signal as a vehicle to transmit the virus. We've heard all about that one. And debunking tools. The UNICRI researchers identified several instruments to debunk disinformation and misinformation, including data science tools, fact-checking apps, and artificial intelligence. But warning that technology countermeasures alone cannot stop abuse of social media. In a separate case of disinformation, the UN Refugee Agency has warned about fake information circulating on social media concerning the refugee situation in Ethiopia, such as reports that UN staff had been arrested in the Tigray region and had their vehicles confiscated. Quote, these are false. Sorry, let me...
This is false.
All of our personal vehicles in Tigray are accounted for. We urge those using social media to share information responsibly and from corroborated sources only, the UN agency said. So, yep, the climate is ripe. They're stirring the pot for the adversary, much like they did before 9/11. You know, all the terrorists and the Middle Eastern people, they're bad news. They're all terrorists. They're doing the same thing here with the extremists of misinformation and disinformation. It's all the same pattern. The names might change, but the methods are the same.
We need the speech police to save us.
Yeah, Obama's going to save us.
More speech police and sewer surveillors.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We better keep laughing because it's getting pretty dark.
Yeah.
Literally.
We better stop outside. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Did you have anything to wrap up on, Gons, or should I just go into it?
Just go into it.
Okay. Thanks again. Now, here's the thing, folks. Remember, we will be back. Oh, yeah. We should mention about next week.
Oh, yeah.
So next week we is holiday week. We have a changed schedule due to holiday things. We will be back on Monday. That is November 23rd. November 23rd sometime. Well, we're going to get started a little earlier on the 23rd. So I know when we get started early, it can throw some people off. So be ready. We're going to be trying our best to be live by noon. So be ready for that. Live by noon. Should we just give the whole rundown?
Sure.
So people can plan? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be doing Canary Cry News Talk at noon on November 23rd. That's on Monday. We're going to go for a couple hours on that. And then, if all goes according to plan, we will be doing a Canary Cry radio episode. Are we confident enough to announce the guest?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be talking to Justin Fall, one of our colleagues and very cool guy. I haven't seen Justin in person since Burning Man of 2018, one of those. Anyways, looking forward to talking to Justin Fall on Monday. So it'll be a double duty day for us on Monday. We're doing Canary Cry News Talk at noon, and then somewhere closely after 2, we'll be talking to Justin Fall. It'll be great. So make sure to plan for that. I believe we'll be trying to live stream our interview with Justin Fall from Fourth Watch. And there you go. Be here for that. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. And if you have questions and stuff for him in the chat, being in the chat will be a great place to ask those questions. So there you go. Now, remember, we will need producers for Monday's 2 shows to produce on Monday. So if you have been thinking about producing the show, go ahead and head over to patreon.com/CCNT. For Canary Cry News Talk, patreon.com/CCNT. Or if you don't like Patreon, that's okay. You can head to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
That's right. canarycryradio.com/support. Great way to become a producer. And we need you, producers, because this is, we do not take advertising dollars from corporations. We are not brand friendly. And we just don't want to have them decide what we can and can't talk about. It wouldn't work anyways. And that's why we invite you to rebel against the New World Order. The global government of the financial system. Don't let advertisers go ahead and decide what media is worth existing or not. That's up to the people. That's up to you. So thank you very much to all of our supporters, and also to our producers in other ways, our artists. Very important to the show. Thank you very much to our artists. Who do we have today? Let me scroll. Of course, there's Ali. We had Lekect send us his Bitcoin graph there. Thank you to Grace. Thank you to producer Mark. Thank you to new artist producer Aaron. Thank you to Lloyd. That's the King's Kid in the chat. The Canary Cry Dutchman for sending in that jingle, as well as let's see here. Thank you to everybody. Oh, and Javel, which is Allie over there on YouTube, giving us our timestamps so people don't have to listen to all the nonsense over on the YouTube channels. They can just hit those timestamps and find a topic they want to listen to. That's a great and very important work. So we thank Allie for that as well. Let's see. Did I forget anything?
Did you say thank you to Christopher and Laura?
No.
Oh, I will, because I got the blankets.
You did. Good
the
job.
soft blankets.
Yes, very good. Thank you, so Christopher and Laura, and to all of our producers today. And here's the thing: you can help out the show in a lot of ways. You know, if financially is not in the cards, we totally understand. Look, don't feel guilty about not being able to support financially. We love you anyways. But another great way to support the show that's not financial is leaving ratings and reviews. You can leave ratings and reviews on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to the show. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to smash that like button on YouTube. That helps us out quite a bit. But ratings and reviews also help share the show. It tells the iTunes algorithms to share the show with people who haven't listened to it before. Helps us climb those podcast charts, which is very important for spreading the word. But you can also share the show on your social media. Just find an episode, click the little share button, share it around to your friends, your family, let people know. They might be on the road of waking up to the fact that the world is not what they thought it was. And that's a good way to do it. And if you need any other instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah, folks. All right. Your last reminder until Monday. Our next show will be Monday, November 23rd, sometime between noon. Well, no, it'll be at noon. Put it on your schedule. We'll be doing Canary Cry News Talk as well as a Canary Cry radio episode with Justin Fall. So make sure to show up for that or else. And any last words, Gons?
Just leave us a rating and a review because...
You're going down, Olstein.
Still working on that.
That's why, because we need to top the Joel Olstein podcast in the podcast charts. It'll happen one of these days. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
I tried to tell you.
Look it up.
Called it.
It's gotta be biblical.
Sinful generation!
Burn it all.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people zoo.
Stop this progress before it is too late!
Remember, reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Buy gold, buy!
I want to shake things up, shake things up. I want to shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I want to stir up some controversy. I want to rattle a few cages. I want to rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Little guy. Little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati.
Fun fact, I believe it was another fun fact. Fun fact. Another fun fact.
brings me back to my Screamo days.
Do pot. That's where I started.
Light up a huge blunt.
A joint.
Give everybody
magic
mushrooms. Smoke. The CIA, I mean, lots of intelligence agencies have tested secretly dosing communities. LSD.
Psychoactive pills should be covertly administered. Just put me on some, I don't know.
You shot in the butt. Fluoride. Oxytocin. Get a chemical hug.
I did dabble, some of that robot crack. I know what it's like.
It's a lethal recipe for disaster. You need help.
If you're a pharmacist, you need to repent.
All right, weird.
Don't push your
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
People, I'll keep you safe and warm in my people's zoo. I'll keep you safe and warm now in my people's zoo. You, yeah, you in my people's zoo. I'll keep the cameras on.